This is what's fair to say about Bryce Young. Part of the pre-draft process, part of the pre-draft evaluation that many had for Bryce Young was wrong. He's not pro-ready day one. There have been enough red flags through 2 games to know that he is going to have an adjustment time between college and the NFL. And that was one of the things we heard wasn't really the case with him. Right? Anthony Richardson, he's a project. CJ Stroud, he's going from that Ohio State offense where it's one read and they're always open because Ryan Day is a genius play caller. It's going to take some time to get used to it. But Bryce Young's ready day one. Bryce Young is a genius. Bryce Young is a savant. Bryce Young already, in 8th grade, he understood NFL offenses. Turns out that's not necessarily the case. He's holding on to the ball too long at times. He's trying to outrun defenders when he should have unloaded it and lived to play another day a few times. Ball security, both interceptions and now fumbles, have become an issue. These are things that you would expect a rookie quarterback to deal with if we hadn't been told during the entire pre-draft process that this wasn't just any old rookie. This was a different rookie. This was an advanced rookie. This was a polished rookie. This was a rookie that had been making NFL-style reads and progressions for years. That rookie. Nick Saban trusted him to do things that he very rarely trusted quarterbacks to do. He's ready. Or he needs some time to make the adjustment. That's where we're at. Right? We're dialing back expectations based on what we've seen. That's how you have to operate. Luckily, hopefully, you have some safety nets. And what I mean by that is you didn't just draft him because he was pro-ready, right? You didn't just draft him because you thought he was ready to show up and play day one. You drafted him because you loved his mental makeup, right? You drafted him because you believed he had the physical skill set and that weird competitive drive to be maniacal about improvement until he gets where you want him to go. Right? If he showed up day one and it was great, you would have said lovely. Right? If he outdueled the Falcons in week 1 and then on Monday Night Football he wiped the floor with Derek Carr and the Saints, you would have said lovely. But now that hasn't happened, you have to lean on the fact that in those meetings, in those pre-draft workouts, in the meetings at the Combine, you weren't just excited about his X's and O's. You weren't just excited about the fact that when you asked him where you should go against a particular defense, he knew where to go. You were also excited about how he handled adversity. You were also excited about how he leads. You were also excited about, what Bill O'Brien and Nick Saban said about him. Now you have to lean on that. Here's Bryce Young on staying positive through the struggles.
You try to build on positive things, but it's not going to carry over for any points on Sunday. So just like any week, there's good and bad. You want to obviously correct the bad, get that cleaned up, and then there's positive stuff that we can look at and try to continue to build off of. So I think it's more just trying to the things that did go went well on the positive plays. How can we be more consistent on those? But we don't get any points next week for anything we did this week. So
you don't get any points next week for anything you did this week. You borderline didn't get any points this week for what you did this week.
I mean, you only had 27 through 2 games.
Maybe that's what you should start stockpiling weeks together and cashing them all in on the same. Can we score now? But it's kind of an IOU, and we'll cash it in 2 weeks from now.
Can we pool them all together?
Maybe we'll win a shootout 3 weeks from now with 3 weeks worth of stored up points.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. You're right to feel frustrated by Bryce Young. You're right to, right? You drafted a guy number 1 overall. You traded away DJ Moore and picks to go get him, right? You brought someone in to give you hope, and that hope isn't there yet, right? There's very, very famous examples of young quarterbacks drafted high being booed by their home crowds, right? There's very, very famous examples of good quarterbacks drafted high struggling early in their career. Yeah. Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions. That's the kind of the patron saint, the personification of this theory. Josh Allen stunk early in his career for the Bills. I don't know why this one's popping into my brain. Donovan McNabb was like public enemy number 1 in Philly after being drafted number 2 overall. But guess what? If you drafted a guy with the proper mental attitude, with the proper determination, the proper resiliency against adversity, they can, the fan base can be frustrated with them early in their career, and they're going to turn out anyway. That's what you're now banking on. You're now banking on Bryce Young being one of those guys. Oh, you're going to doubt me? Oh, you think after 2 games I'm not living up to expectations? Watch. Right? That's the sort of thing you want to hear from him now. Not publicly, because he would never say that publicly, but that's the thing you hope like his parents, who, by the way, they showed on the broadcast 900 times. Side note, can we stop showing parents in the stands when their kids are struggling on the field? It just seems kind of cruel. Like they don't control that. They didn't throw the interception. They didn't fumble the ball. But here's the final point, right? If he has the mental ability to overcome adversity, you still need to help him do that. You need to handle him the right way. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a city to raise a quarterback. Why in the heck did they put Andy Dalton in for a short yardage play?
Maybe for a QB sneak?
Are you saying Bryce Young can't do the quarterback sneak? And by the way, he turned and pitched it anyway. Are you saying Bryce Young can't do you drafted a guy that can't execute a short yardage play? You drafted a guy number 1 overall that can't get 1 yard on whatever it was, 3rd and 1?
I think it was just the Dalton you actually trust to go behind the center and push forward.
I am going to say, if that's the case, put Hayden Hurst. Here's the thing. And I want to say this loud, and I want to say this directly to the Panthers brass. If he's not hurt, Bryce Young is playing every play.
Yeah.
Do not mess with the mindset. Do not, Andy's better at this. No. This is about developing Bryce. This is about getting him used to every single situation. It's about finding out what he does well in every single situation. Bryce Young does not come out of the game without saying, ow. If he's not saying that hurts, I need to get looked at by the trainer, or there's an independent neurologist saying he got his bell rung, he needs to get looked at by the independent neurologist. If none of that is happening, he is playing every snap with the offense, unless you're ahead by 40 and you're pulling the starters, or you're behind by 40 and you're pulling the starters. That's it. Andy Dalton does not play meaningful snaps. Bryce Young, he's a project now. He did not show up pro-ready day 1. You thought he would? He didn't. Change your expectations and start getting to building the project, right? Start getting to finishing, developing, improving. And he needs to be on the field to do that. Do not take him out for Andy Dalton. The heck are we doing here? Can't believe I had to say that out loud.